AEW Dynamite review, let's get into it. So the show starts off with Tony Khan sitting in his office down in Jacksonville, where he says he'll be running the show from there as he's not allowed to leave Jacksonville due to his neck injury sustained last week by the Elite when they hit the Tony Khan driver on him. The Young Bucks then cut his feed off and say that they're experiencing problems from the feed in Jacksonville, and they basically say that this is now their show when Tony Khan is not around. It is their time to control the show by contracts, by all of that. And they also say that they cannot be fired, basically, due to, I think they called it founders' rights or something along those lines, due to the fact that they founded the company. So that at least gives an explanation as to what I was complaining about last week on what I thought they would just brush past, but I'm glad they didn't. I think they heard some of the criticism by people. The question of whether they will be fired, suspended, so on and so forth. But that still doesn't give Jack Perry the rights, but I'm not going to look into it any longer. They gave a reason. I'm happy with that. We then had Swerve Strickland open up the show as he came out and cut a promo, getting ready to find out who his challenger will be for AEW Double or Nothing. And Swerve Strickland cuts a promo, basically at first gets a few shots at the EVP saying that it was a bitch move what they did last week. And then while he's busy cutting his promo and waiting to find out, the EVPs come onto the Titantron and they say, they basically announce Swerve Strickland's opponents for Double or Nothing. And who is it? Christian Cage. So Christian Cage is now facing Swerve Strickland at AEW Double or Nothing. Christian Cage comes out to the ring along with everybody that's around him, his whole entourage, and they attack Swerve Strickland and Prince Onana. Christian Cage lands a kill switch onto Swerve Strickland, onto the title belt, and then kill switch and Nick Wayne take out Onana. Nick Wayne lands Wayne's World on Onana. Kill switch pulls hair out of Swerve Strickland's head. That was weird. But they beat them down and laid the challenge. Christian Cage then cut a promo afterwards, typical Christian Cage promo. He mentions the whole I'll be a better father for you type of stuff. I'm tired of that, but it makes sense. I understand it. It's his character, but I'm kind of tired of that. I think it's time to move on from that and just be a nasty heel with maybe something new. We then have Adam Copeland taking on, well, he didn't know who he was going to take on from the House of Black, but he's taking on Buddy Mathews, typical. Buddy Mathews and Adam Copeland had a pretty decent match. Felt like a very much WWE mixed with AEW type of match, as a lot of Adam Copeland matches are. But very, very good match nonetheless. They took their time. They sold well. They made it mean something. I enjoyed it. Adam Copeland ended up getting the win after Buddy Mathews went for a stomp. Adam Copeland dodged a stomp and landed a spear, got the win. After the match, it looked like Adam Copeland was going to land a concerto onto Buddy Mathews, but out comes Malachi Black, or the lights go out. Malachi Black stands there, and basically dares him to do it to Buddy Mathews. Then as he's about to hit Buddy Mathews over the head, because Buddy Mathews is now sitting up, he turns to Malachi Black, lights go out, and then the House of Black disappears once again. So, I'm assuming next week it was announced that he's going to be facing Brody King, and then I assume that's going to go all the way to Double or Nothing where he faces Malachi Black. We then have Samoa Joe taking on Isaiah Cassidy. What was the point of this match? What was it? Isaiah Cassidy messing around the whole time, not taking it serious at all, which is fine. It's cool. But why did it take so long for Joe to beat him? It wasn't a long match by any means. It was a short match. But it should have been 1 minute done. Here we go, Muscle Buster finished. But it just went on too long, and it kind of made Joe look stupid at times, in my opinion. I know a lot of people won't think that. I just think the silliness went on far too long for someone like Joe. Joe is an absolute killer, and he should have got rid of Cassidy quickly, without any issues. We then had Orange Cassidy come out and cut a promo because obviously the stuff with Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, and he announces that Chuck Taylor will most likely never wrestle again because of the match between Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta on Rampage last week. Speaking of Rampage, I'm not doing a review on Rampage. You guys know we don't do the Collision. We don't do the Rampage reviews. That's just far too much review content for the channel. So we're only doing Dynamite. Anyway, Trent Beretta then comes out as Orange Cassidy is about to say what he would do next time he sees him. Orange Cassidy runs out towards him. Security and referees stop Orange Cassidy. Chris Stadlander stops Orange Cassidy. And then in between all that, Don Callis makes his way out, whispers in Orange Cassidy's ear, and they slowly make their way back to the back. So Orange Cassidy and Don Callis. Weird. Very, very, very weird. I don't see a turn happening. I think it's going to be a bait and switch. It's not going to be a turn. Orange Cassidy's not going to turn heel. It's simply not going to happen. We then had Renee Paquette have a backstage interview with the Young Bucks, but they said they've had enough TV time and they gave the shot to Jack Perry, where Jack Perry explained why he did what he did last week and that he cares for AEW, and this is the only way to save AEW, basically. So Jack Perry makes sense. He's still believing in his ways. He said Tony Khan made him the scapegoat, and that was not right. He shouldn't have been the scapegoat. He was never meant to be the scapegoat, and they made him the scapegoat. We then had Chris Jericho taking on Katsuri Shibata for the FTW title, and this was a horrendous Shibata's first ever hardcore match, or no DQ match ever. But this match was so bad, man. Shibata doesn't sell. Can someone tell me why Katsuhiro Shibata does not sell anything? He might sell a big move here and there, but he does not sell chops. He does not sell strikes. The man can't sell moves. Why? It's so bad. Jericho's out there trying to sell, actually trying to make something of this match. I'm speaking good about Jericho, yeah? He's trying to actually make something about this match, but just was not it by any means. So, with that being said, I do not want to see Shibata wrestle much anymore. It's just, he doesn't fit the style with everybody else. You got people selling left, right, and center, and then you got this man that just doesn't sell. It pisses me off, man. It pisses me off. Anyway, if Chris Jericho ends up getting the win, nothing special. Big Bill helps Chris Jericho, actually. Big Bill puts Shibata through a table. He solved that at least, and then Chris Jericho got the win. Let's leave that there, please. I don't want to go back to that match ever again. We then had Claudio Castagnoli taking out Brian Cage. Another very, very, very good match. Brian Cage doing his thing. Haven't seen him for a while. I don't know if he's been on Collision or Rampage, but I haven't seen him on Dynamite for a while. And Claudio Castagnoli doing his thing. I think Claudio's going to slowly start getting a push. It seems like they're going to put some more confidence in Claudio Castagnoli, which I'm happy about. The man deserves it. So Claudio Castagnoli ended up getting the win after he made Brian Cage tap out with a sharpshooter. So big moment for Claudio. Big win for Claudio. Let's see where that goes. We then had Mariah May taking on Serena Deeb with Toni Storm in the corner of Mariah May. Also, another good match. Two very, very good workers. Mariah May has been working her ass off this year. She's been doing nearly every single show that I've watched. Mariah May has been working on. So very, very good stuff. Serena Deeb, good as usual. Serena Deeb then locked in a half Boston Crab. Mariah May refused to tap out. Toni Storm threw the towel in. So that's an interesting dynamic to their story now. Because it really seems like Toni Storm has started caring about Mariah. Or we know she started caring about Mariah May. She threw the towel in. Serena Deeb ended up getting the win. And that was that match. We then move on to Kenny Omega making his return. Kenny Omega comes out to the ring, full suited out, looking good, looking fresh. Cuts a damn good. This is the best promo I've seen from Kenny Omega ever. He went long. He cut a good promo. There was pure babyface emotion when he was talking about his diverticulitis that he had, and the fact that he may never wrestle again, but he says he just got that itch to wrestle again. And very, very, very good promo, which was interrupted by his former rival Kazuchika Okada. Kazuchika Okada basically said to him, I am the best bump machine, not you, Kenny Omega. So, with that being said, Kenny then said, maybe we have a match down the line. And, give me that again. Give me another Kenny Omega and Okada match in AEW. I'll be happy. I'll be so happy with that. Anyway, Jack Perry then attacks Kenny Omega from behind, which I was quite surprised he got physical. Kenny Omega throws some strikes. They weren't the best looking strikes, but I'll ignore it. He then lands a nice half and half dragon suplex. Looks for the V-trigger, but Okada pulls the leg. And then they take out Kenny again. The Young Bucks come in. Looks like they're trying to stop them, but they land the EVP trigger on Kenny Omega. And the show went off the air. Just like that. Really, Dynamite just went off the air. I don't know what happened on Rampage, but that's when Dynamite went off the air. Really good stuff. I enjoyed it. Decent show. Kenny Omega was the highlights of the show. His promo was the highlights of the show. Great stuff. Decent Dynamite this week. Some very good wrestling. It felt a bit more like a Dynamite show than last week did. I enjoyed it. There was really that Chris Jericho and Shibata match just put me off this show a little bit though. But everything else was solid. Everything else was good. I'm excited to see what Swerve and Christian Cage can do. I'm excited to see what Kenny Omega can do and when we'll see him again. With that being said, we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.